If the first game breaks, we'll get you know it up, put on more steam. Protect our kickers, our quarterback, our lead, our ball game. All obstacles, block, cut, sides, 2 games after this win in. Rest you again, we're here for the first May. Can everybody keep it up 6 minutes?
Rocky Top, you'll always be. Doesn't have to be perfect, ain't gonna be perfect. We go compete for 60 freaking minutes. All right, enjoy the opportunity, enjoy the environment, and then go play our butts off, play for one another, and have a hell of a lot of fun. Everybody got me?
Yes, sir.
All right.
I don't know. Truly, like, I don't know how I could answer that because I don't know what it would take. Really, I don't know what it would be until I feel accomplished. If we win that natty, when we win that natty, then I'll say, like, my story's been good.
Our players, man, I love the fight, the strain, the willingness to, just keep battling and playing the next play, and played physical, played hard. End of the day, coaches and players got to be a little bit better to win that football game. And tonight, man, it's going to hurt, and we need to drink all that in and taste all of it. Because if we're going to move forward and be the team that we're capable of, this feeling tonight's got to be a part of what continues to propel us, and the urgency and the focus and everything that we do. And I told them after the game, I love the competition part of it, competitive composure, continuing to compete. We just got to be a little bit better together, coaches and players. So
make the decision. You're either a Vol or you're not, through thick and thin.
All I know is go Vols, because that's all I know. Go Vols!
Welcome to the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name is Boogie Bentley. Hope you guys are having a good Monday morning. How are we feeling? How are we feeling? This is a wellness check for the Talkin VAWLS Network, for the Talkin VAWLS family. Are we feeling okay on this Monday morning? I won't lie, man. It still stings. It still sucks. It still hurts. But I'm looking forward. And if you weren't here last night for the fan call-in show, you missed a special opportunity, a special, man, just an inside look to where this football team is at. Uncle Kenny was here. You guys hear me talk about Uncle Kenny. You may be, why is Boogie talking about his Uncle Kenny? And why does his Uncle Kenny come on and his name says Floyd? Well, Uncle Kenny just so happens to be Jaden Lofton's uncle. He's always in the chat. He's always hanging out. Last night he said, enough is enough. He said, Boog, send me the link. I need to come on and address something. He talked about the mindset of this football team. He talked about the class of 25 that Jaden's a part of. And man, oh man, if that didn't encourage you, if that didn't fire you up for the future of this program, if you can't see beyond your little blinders where you think we suck, the sky is falling, the season's over, when you see inside the program and you hear a family member talk about Josh Heupel, talk about Coach Garner, talk about this football team, this program, these players, these kids, this coaching staff, man, what a special treat to have Uncle Kenny on last night. Always a good time chopping it up with him. But come on in. Welcome to the morning show. You guys know as of last Friday, I talked about this. The Friday morning and Monday morning shows, Talkin VAWLS Morning Show, is going to be brought to you by Grade A Grounds Coffee, gradeagrounds.com. Use the promo code VAWLS, VAWLS. You're going to get 20% off your first purchase. You guys know me. I'm not a marketing guy. I'm not an advertising guy. I don't want to do ads. I don't want to break up the show. But this one, man, it just made sense. I met the owner at a golf tournament. He's a VFL. He's an East Tennessee guy, local guy. He graduated from the University of Tennessee. He bleeds orange. We hit it off. Man, he's telling me about his coffee business. I'm telling him about Talkin VAWLS. It just made sense. We partnered up for the morning show. And the truth is, myself, Foul Mean, Coach Jay, were talking about it off air. And we were like, yeah, this is cool. We got a little deal. It makes sense. He's a Tennessee guy, blah, blah, blah. What if his coffee sucks? Like, what if his coffee sucks? What are we going to do? He sent us some free coffee. We cracked it open. It doesn't suck. It's freaking amazing. And I talked about it last week. It makes no sense. The blend, you see it right there on the screen. B is for blueberry. Who wants blueberry in their coffee? Now, Cainer's in the back room. He drinks it stone cold black. His coffee, I guarantee you, tastes like an ashtray. I guarantee it. Mine tastes like a sweet blueberry donut. I'm telling you, it's delicious. Great product, great guy. Proud to partner with Grade A Grounds. They do fundraisers. If you're a parent, a coach, a teacher, you can get more information on their website. They're going to kick back 40% to your classroom, your ball team, whatever the case is. But again, gradeagrounds.com, promo code VAWLS, save 20%. Let's get Cainer on here. He's up against it. So we got to jump right into it.
You are Locked On Vols, your daily podcast on the Tennessee Volunteers. Part of the Locked On Podcast Network, your team every day.
How was that, Cainer? Did that sound radio enough for you? Was that radio enough for you?
You're going to get there yet, man. It's taking that next step into being a true professional, right? I mean, you're a long ways away, but you're getting closer.
No. I'm right, though. Your coffee straight up sludge. It's got to be. It's got to be like motor oil.
Yeah, the coffee, black coffee and cigarettes here on a Monday morning after that loss on Saturday, right? That's the way we're going to go. It's funny. I was pretty, I don't want to say emotional because I wasn't. I was pretty animated on my post-game reaction podcast Saturday night. And because I was just being real. I know we're going to get into it, but I mean, the real thing is that was a great game, right? Tennessee won it 3 times. Tennessee lost it. Tennessee has nobody to blame but itself. And is that too harsh? Maybe, but that's the truth. But somebody commented on there that said, man, like, Boogie's really rubbing off on you. Like, good for you. Way to be emotional. Way to be passionate. And I'm like, he's going to love this when I tell him.
So you think you're teaching me? I'm teaching you. Welcome to the dark side.
Maybe
Welcome
so.
to the dark side. Let me hit a couple of super chats real quick. Todd Landers for 2 says, morning Vols. Next up, take it out on UAB. Brian Turner for 5 says, door feed GBO. Shout out, Brian. We appreciate you. Marcus Rush is here for 5 says, door feed. Time for our boys to get back to work and dish out some pain on UAB GBO. I don't remember what show it was. It might have been post-game mini pod you guys did. You know, Hubs kind of talked about that. UAB is a perfect opponent coming up on Saturday. You don't want to bye week where you got to sit and stew on this thing for 2 weeks. You don't want to go on the road and play Mississippi State on Saturday because that Georgia's going to beat you twice, or they can beat you twice. UAB, perfect opponent for Tennessee coming up on Saturday.
Yeah, I think it is, no doubt. It's an opportunity to put out some of your frustrations, get back to work, go play another team with that's not your own. A chance again, continued opportunities for some of these young guys to get in there. Ethan Utley's got to play more. Isaiah Campbell's got to play some. Nathan Robinson. I mean, that's just defensive tackle. Like, I think it's great. I couldn't agree more. Not that I think Tennessee would lose if it was Mississippi State this weekend, but it's not a bad idea to kind of have that breather between, because you know this team struggles on the road historically, but really in the SEC it's tough to go on the road. I mean, it's tough. Kirby said it as much after the game. I think this is a really good week to kind of put out some of your frustrations, get some confidence, and get ready to jump back into conference play.
Let's talk about, let me hit this super chat real quick. The Lazy Llamas. It's good to see you in the chat, my friend. For 10, Dorfy, what up, Boogie and Cainer? This past Saturday was like Rocky 1. Atlanta will be Rocky 2. Redemption is coming. A buddy of mine knows absolutely nothing about football. My best friend lives down in Georgia, so he's surrounded by Bulldogs. One of his good friends down there is a huge Georgia fan, and he just texted me after the game. He's like, I'm sorry, man. I'm sorry. Maybe this will be like Rocky 1 and Rocky 2's coming. He has no idea there's an SEC championship game. He has no idea there could be a rematch, but I like that comparison. Shout out Lazy Llamas Nicholas for 2. Says we need to go play absolutely pissed off. Shout out Nicholas. We appreciate you. Let's talk about just kind of the overall perception of this team. You see the AP poll that came out, and we can make something or nothing out of this after last week with the girl out there in California and her votes. But Tennessee doesn't move. They don't shift. They're right there at 15. And, you know, two games into the season, you got a win over Syracuse, a win over ETSU. We're talking all week leading up to the Georgia game. We still don't really know who this team is. You go in there against Georgia, and it's not like the old matchups. It's not like, yes, you jumped on top of Georgia early, which is normal. They start crawling back. Battered Vol syndrome creeps in, and you're going, here we go again. They're going to run us out of our own stadium. They come out that first drive in the third, and they just run it down your throat, and then the offense goes 3 and out. And I'm going, all right, we're done. It's a loss. We have no shot. Tennessee fought back. It was a back-and-forth game. It felt like a heavyweight title fight. You look at the rankings. I laugh at Notre Dame, 0-2, but still 24th, but whatever. Tennessee doesn't move. USC, Missouri, Auburn, Vandy, Indiana, Georgia Tech, Texas Tech, Utah. All those teams are 3-0. Tennessee still ranked ahead of them. I think national perception, Cainer, a lot of people think Tennessee is one of the best teams in the SEC.
Yeah, I couldn't agree more, and I think, I think the AP poll right there, and again, we have that conversation on my show about AP poll voters, but I think it does kind of show how much respect Tennessee has. I mean, you dropped a game at home, which is never great, but you dropped it to Georgia. The way you lost it, I mean, it was perception-wise, nationally, instant classic, thriller. I mean, what a treat for college football fans. And I agree. Like, if I was watching this, Auburn, Mississippi State, heck yeah, let's go, right? But for people here in Knoxville, it's none of those things. It's heartbreak. It's frustration. And so I do think that this is one of those losses to where if Tennessee comes back, handles its business, doesn't stub its toes somewhere else, you can afford to lose one other game, right? But that's it. And you're 10-2 going in this college football playoff picture. The committee can say, yeah, one of those losses to Georgia, but man, they took them to the brink in overtime. And I think Georgia's going to be one of the better teams in the country. I think the defense is going to be better. I think, Stockton's better than I thought he was. And I think I thought the offense was going to be fine. I didn't think the offense would put up 44 points. I'll say that. But I do think, again, back to your point, perception-wise, this was a great game. I think it's kind of funny. I think the question is this, Boogie, and somebody asked this on the Rocky Top Rewind last night. Are you feeling better about Tennessee now after a loss than you did before Saturday? And I think that's a valid question.
Yeah, let me tell you something. It's hard. You guys do, you're the 2-minute drill after, you do the mini pod after. It's just you guys, right? It's just the VolQuest crew talking. So there's no live engagement. There's no maybe somebody that's been hitting the bottle watching the game and they're full of emotion. When we go live post game, it's the hardest show we do after a loss. It's difficult. We come in immediately after. The chat is full of piss and vinegar. They are on the attack. They want to fire everybody. They want to bench people. They want to do. I heard that we need to bench Sham Umarov because he had a false start. We need to take the kicker to the locker room and jump him. Like, people are insane post game. It's not Max Gilbert's fault. It's not Sham Umarov's fault. Guess what? It's not Ty Redmond's fault. It's everybody's fault. It's the players. It's the coaches. You said it at the top of the show. There were multiple times there to win that football game. Not just Max Gilbert, multiple times to win this football game. But as the show went on and people started to kind of calm down, and I finally spun it on them, and I said, what would you do? How would you feel? Where would you be emotionally? And again, not putting it all on Max Gilbert, but if Max Gilbert knocks home that kick, we beat Georgia, time expires, the monkey's off the back. People are going to be saying, we're going to the college football playoff. We control everything. We're going to beat Alabama. We're going to beat Florida. You're high on this coaching staff. You're high on this football team. But because that kick sailed wide right and Georgia found a way to beat you in overtime, now all of a sudden, man, we're not as good as we think. We're terrible. But I think once the dust and the smoke is kind of cleared, I think people are pretty high on this football team. And as we look ahead, Cainer, and you look at the schedule, I think you and I were the same. You were at 9-3, right, going into the season. Yeah. So coming off of this Georgia game, and you look at the schedule coming up, does anything shift? Does anything change? Do you feel better about that Florida game? Are you worried about Oklahoma? Or are you still kind of just sitting on 9-3?
Well, I mean, I guess, like, I don't know if I'm going to change my record prediction. I mean, I talked to Chris Lowe about this on the Rewind last night. Like, I pulled up the schedule just like we have it up right now. Tennessee is going to be favored to win every single game except probably on the road at Bama, all right, as things stand right now. Tennessee can absolutely win every single game on that schedule. In fact, I think Tennessee has a really good chance to win every single game on that schedule. But again, the SEC is so weird this year. They're like, who's the juggernaut in the SEC? Who are the top 3 or 4 quarterbacks? That's a legit question right now because Sellers has struggled, Arch has struggled, Lagway has struggled, Nussmeier has struggled. Joey Aguilar's looked great, right? John Mateer's looked great. There's just still so much unknown. It's so early in the SEC slate. So I guess, I could see 10-2 for sure. But, Mississippi State, the resurgence there, that's something that we didn't consider preseason, right? Can you put the comment down so I can see the bottom of the –
Oh, sorry. Oh, you want the schedule back up.
Yeah, there we go. I should have it memorized by heart. Alabama's going to be tough on the road. I don't care what they look like against Florida State. I don't care what they look like since. It's still going to be tough on the road. I understand it's never a gimme, but I like Tennessee on the road at Kroger. Oklahoma, you and I talked about this preseason. I think that's the game that's going to define the season. I think Oklahoma's very good. I think that's the game I've circled on the calendar all year long. And then, of course, Florida's never going to be easy. And, Vanderbilt looks like one of the top 25 teams in the country right now. So, again, I say all this to say I think the SEC is just so drunk right now, and we still just don't know kind of what these tiers are. So I think Tennessee could be 10-2. I think Tennessee could be 9-3. If Tennessee doesn't watch their P's and Q's, you can go on the road and lose Mississippi State, just like he did at Arkansas last year. So I just don't know. But I think to answer the question I ask you, it's kind of hard, and I'm not trying to look at this through orange-shaded glasses. It's kind of hard not to feel good or better about Tennessee even after a loss. And this program, as Brent Hubbs said, is past moral victories. I'm not saying this is a moral victory, but if you would have told me you would have put 41 points up on Georgia, that your quarterback would account for 5 touchdowns, he would throw for almost 400 yards, that Chris Brazil would have 3 touchdowns, I'm feeling really good about Tennessee's offense and the prospects throughout the rest of the season. So I feel good about this team. You've got to tighten some things up. We know that. You've got to get healthy. We know that. This defense, hey, it's not going to be as good as last year. They're going to be boom or bust at times. And I think kind of what we saw in the Syracuse games is a nice little roadmap. Maybe not giving up, maybe not forcing 2 turnovers or 5 sacks, but force some turnovers, put some pressure, give up some touchdowns, kind of boom or bust in that regard, and the offense is going to be able to carry you. I think that this is an offense that is closer to resembling 2022. Not all the way, but closer to resembling 2022, but a defense that is still significantly better than anything this program had in 21 and 22, and honestly 23 as well.
And I said this last night. I'm going to say it again. And I love that Josh Heupel, leading up to the game, said this game don't care about injuries. It does not care about injuries. But you'd be crazy if you didn't look and say, well, we're down our 2 starting corners. We're down Jackson Moy. We're down David Hobbs. Like that's your 2 deep on the interior of the defensive line. You and I have beat it to death. I think you and I just watch Eason and Bailey and go, okay, how many snaps are they going to play this game?
And they played their tails off, and they were productive. But again, on that last drive before the 2-point conversion, and it's human nature, dude. Like before the 2-point conversion, I think it's Eason. He is sitting down there at a knee, and he's just – and I'm like, that is not what you want to see before the game's on the line for a 2-point conversion. And that's not his fault.
Nope.
That is not his fault. But they played their tails off, but it's like those 2 guys, to your point, 60-plus snaps. And then, dude, Ty Redmond, I have no issue. I wrote this yesterday. I have no issue with Ty Redmond playing cornerback for Tennessee. They picked on him. Mike Bobo should have picked on him. That was the game plan. They executed. He's going to learn from it and be better. What I do have an issue with is Colton Hood playing 96 snaps. Is Ty Redmond playing 95 snaps? Why can't Jalen McMurray play 20 snaps at star and 40 snaps at corner? That's my question. Like, these guys need to be for crunch time at the fourth quarter overtime. You need to be you need to have some gas in the tank, and I don't think some of those guys had some gas in the tank.
Yeah, and again, I think it just tells you that Coach G, his confidence is in Don Bailey and Bryson Eason, right? Willie Martinez, his confidence is in Colton Hood. And is it confidence in Colton Hood and Ty Redmond and McMurray at star, or is Boo Carter still being punished? How many snaps did Boo Carter? I know he played a lot of snaps Saturday, nowhere near as many as McCullough, or not. Here I go again. I cannot stop calling him.
Since you've done that,
McCullough.
I've done it like a million times.
It's awful. Boo Carter played 28 snaps.
Yes.
McMurray played how many? I don't see him.
55.
Okay, so do you think McMurray is the better player to be in there at star? If he's going to play 55 snaps, run Boo more at star and get McMurray out there on the outside and give not because Redmond can't hang, give him a break.
Yes.
Right?
Yeah. I mean, McMurray rotated in with Gibson and McCoy all last year, and that was great. I'm with you. I do not think Boo Carter's being punished anymore. I think he needs to play more snaps. I will say this, though. Boo Carter's given up 2 fourth-down conversions and gave up a 4th-down sack against Syracuse. So I wouldn't say that Boo Carter's lighting the world on fire playing defense right now. I think that he's the better player, but I don't think that I wouldn't say that he's playing great defense right now. So I don't know. It's interesting, but I'm with you. I would play Boo more at star. I would free up McMurray to go play some corner, do a little both. There's no reason why he can't play both. Like, I understood against ETSU why do that, but against Georgia, again, a true freshman, 3rd game ever playing 94 snaps against Georgia, that is not ideal. Let him play 60 snaps. Let him play 65 snaps. I don't care. That's just not ideal. He doesn't need to play 90+.
Let's talk about the offense. You talked about, the hot start, scoring on their first 3 drives. It's 28-7 into the first quarter. You're in the back of your mind, you're going, well, I've seen this movie before. Can Tennessee hold on? And you may not have caught this in the rewatch. I'm curious to what you think. I was specifically looking for it because of conversations we had on the post-game show. Tennessee puts up a goose egg in the second quarter. So, again, that hot start, everybody's talking about Joey Aguilar being the first quarterback in the SEC in 20 years that went 14-14 or better, threw for 215 yards, 2 passing touchdowns, a rushing touchdown. That second quarter, they lay a goose egg. Like, what are your thoughts? What changed, or what do you feel changed in the second quarter? And I'm curious if you noticed anything that I noticed, or just what do you think?
More than anything, I just think they got out of rhythm. I think penalties kind of put them back a little bit. Not anything specific. They didn't run the football well. I mean, Tennessee had 35 yards total in that quarter. They didn't have many possessions. I just think they were out of sync more than anything. And for as well as he was on in the first quarter, he was off. Joey Aguilar was off in the second quarter. Thankfully, he got back on, and it was great that for the most part, the rest of the game. But I didn't see anything specifically. Maybe I just missed it in rewatch. I just thought that they had no rhythm. Give Georgia credit for that. Georgia was putting pressure on them. I thought penalties were an issue, and I thought Tennessee couldn't run the football. And I think all that thing was kind of a contributing factor to, I don't have the drives in front of me, but the drives were just not good in that second quarter. Again, they were outgained by 112 yards and outscored 10-0 in the quarter.
Yeah, I mean, that's a big part of it, too. Georgia had the football. I had it written down here somewhere.
Oh, yeah, I saw
10
Georgia
minutes.
had the football.
10 minutes and 25 seconds, I think, in the second quarter.
Yeah.
Ridiculous. Mm-hmm. But you hit the nail on the head. Tennessee was out of sync, right? Joey lost some accuracy. Travis Smith had a drop. I get it. The hat was on the ball. That's a tough catch, but the ball hit the floor. Peyton Lewis had a drop in that first drive. 3rd and 7 on the first drive. Braylon Staley's open, and Joey throws it behind him, and we can have the same argument we've had for 3 weeks. If it hits him in the hand, should he catch it? It was not a good throw by Joey. It was execution. A lot of people talking about Kirby Smart. They want to talk about this coaching staff. Oh, the Kirby adjusted, and we didn't. No, like the plays were there. The plays were there to be had. All 3 drives in that second quarter, you had guys open. You had drops. You mentioned penalties. That I think the third drive may have been where Joey just drops a snap. Like, come on, that's not Kirby Smart out scheming, out coaching anybody. That's Joey just a mishap, right? And I'm not saying, oh, we gotta make Joey run laps because he dropped a snap. No, it's just, man, the plays were there. You just got to go execute, and you got to go take it. I don't feel like Tennessee got out coached on Saturday.
No, I don't either, and I know a lot of fans, and you and I were talking about this last week, right? I mean, Tim Banks has got it dialed up, mix it up, bring some pressure, right? Tennessee, I was kind of shocked to see, according to Pro Football Focus, and sometimes they change it from, immediately after the later in the week that they go back and watch it again, I guess. But I saw where Tennessee blitzed only 30% of the time in this football game. Georgia blitzed 50% of the time. But the 30% of the time was a lot more than what Tennessee did in this game last year. It felt like Tennessee was sending somebody all the time, right? But they weren't getting home. They weren't making plays on the 4th and 6 earlier, or the fourth down earlier in the game when Boo Carter gave up the slant. They sent somebody. For the 4th and 6 where they scored the touchdown that eventually tied the game with the 2-point conversion, they sent somebody on a blitz. I mean, they were mixing things up. They were sending pressure. They just weren't executing to the best of their abilities. And I think where Jeremy Banks, Aaron Beasley were very good blitzing linebackers, I don't think that this group of linebackers right now are very good. You kept hearing about Jordan Burns in preseason camp, like, oh, he's a good blitzer. They're going to bring him in for packages to rush the quarterback. Obviously, I hadn't seen that yet. I don't think Jeremiah Thielander, that's a strength of his. Arion Carter got a sack doing it against Syracuse, but they blitzed some. They just weren't getting home for the most part, and it kind of goes back to execution. So Tim Banks certainly mixed some things up, for sure. He did not stay in the one thing in zone coverage and be passive. Unlike Tennessee on the offensive and play calling there in the fourth quarter, which I'm sure you can ask me about before we leave. But I was still kind of shocked that they only blitz 30% of the time, according to Pro Football Focus.
I'm laughing because the chat's mad at me now. They're angry. But I'm going to call Tom out. Tom, you were on the show last night for like 45 minutes to an hour, and you didn't say a word. You didn't say a word. You want to debate me on whether or not Tim Banks is good? You sat here for 45 minutes and couldn't say a word, but then you sit in the chat and just go off on Tim Banks. My question to people, and shout out Dylan too. Dylan is in that camp that Tim Banks got cooked. Somebody else was in that camp. Dylan, Game No Bueno, says Tim most definitely got cooked. I would like to ask you guys, what would you do? What is your response? Because, Cain, you talked about how last week, all week leading into it, it's we can't play that soft zone. We got to be aggressive. We got to blitz. What does Tim Banks do? He gets aggressive. He plays man-to-man, and he tries to get after Georgia. And guess what? They're a good football team. They made plays. Sword of the Demon in the chat says, I will say Tim Banks made mistakes. Of course he did. Tim Banks made mistakes. Joey Halsley made mistakes. Josh Heupel made mistakes. Players made mistakes. You do that every single game you play. I thought Tim Banks adapted, came in with a different game plan, didn't work out. You had an opportunity to win the football game at the end of the day. You just didn't do it. Let's talk about the play calling at the end. The lack of aggressiveness from Josh Heupel, right? And some of that for me is on fourth down, right? We saw Kirby Smart go for it on, I think it was 4th and 3 from midfield early in the game. They're down 21-7, and he kind of feels like his back's against the wall. Okay, I got to go for it here. Josh Heupel had a similar opportunity, 21-14, ball around midfield, 4th and 2. They go quick, they line up. I'm like, all right, here's my coach. This is that aggressiveness that I love. Kirby calls a timeout. Heupel elects to punt. And in that moment, I'm going, I probably would punt there too. You kind of had their heels, back on their heels, going quick, go for it. But the big one for me is what you're talking about. Fourth quarter, Josh Josephs gets the fumble. You got an opportunity late in the fourth quarter to make it a 2-score game. And I think you get in the end zone there, I think the ball game's over. Josh Heupel elects to run it 3 times. And, of course, that's after a penalty. But I would have liked to see a shot there. I would like to see some aggressiveness there and try to put the game away.
Yeah, I mean, you had to get points no matter what. Tennessee got points. That's great. But yeah, man, and I understand what Josh Heupel said post game. I mean, he said it was based on the look. They were playing cover 2 high brackets. I loved our third down call. If not for the penalty, they're playing behind the sticks. Maybe we would have got it. If we got closer, if Shammy Morrow didn't miss a block on third down, he didn't say that. I saw that on tape. Maybe he goes for it on 4th down. I hear you, but you know what beats 2 high brackets? Middle of the field. Middle of the field, right? Middle of the field, because the middle of the field's vacated, okay? Miles Kitzman had several receptions middle of the field. I mean, you were sending guys on crossers all game. Why not do it there? And Joey Aguilar was hot. Chris Bratzel was hot. It was most important to get points there. I get it. But I just felt like, man, you had that place rocking. Like finish it. Finish it right there. And I just felt like that was I just felt like it was just really passive, and it was just not a good look. But hey, again, they know more football than me. But I hear you. I hear your reasoning, and you know more football than I do. I still don't have to like it. I didn't like that whole sequence for Tennessee offensively.
Yeah, I mean, it's just it's at the end of the day, you can question coaching, and it's fair. That's what we do all post game is criticize little decisions. In hindsight's 2020, it's easy to look back and say, well, you should have done this, that, or the other. The bottom line is, they make the field goal. Georgia goes down and score, tie game. You were set up to win the game. That's it. This coaching staff put their team in position to win. Now, It could have not come down to that. You could have ended it earlier, right? I mean, that's just the reality.
Yeah. This coaching staff put these players, and these players put themselves in position to win the game. 4th and freaking 6, make a stop.
Yep.
2-point conversion, make a stop.
2 third downs on that drive, too, that you didn't make a stop.
Yeah. 43-yard field goal. Easier said than done. I'm not trying to attack the kicker here. It is what it is, 102.55 looking at you. It's nerve-wracking. I got people looking at me doing my job, not 102.55, and it's nerve-wracking. Make the kick, game over. You had a chance on 4th down, on 2-point conversion, and on the field goal there. 3 chances right there, and countless other chances during the game that could have, you make this play, get off the field here, whatever. You had, and that is the lasting takeaway for me in this football game, and this is what I went on my emotional post-game, I guess, or really I was just kind of animated. It can be an instant thriller. It can be a classic. It can be a heartbreak. All those things are true. But for Tennessee fans and for people covering this team, like you sit here and say, Tennessee had every opportunity in the world to win this game, and it didn't. How are you going to respond? That's the question. And I think this team can certainly can certainly respond the right way. Boy, you got a quarterback that's going to keep you in every single game, and that's exciting. I did not know that coming into the season. Know that now. You know that now for sure, Boogie.
100%. Kaner, I know we're up against it. You got to get out the door because you got some personal stuff to take care of. I appreciate you making time this morning. What do you got going over at Locked On Vols? What do you got going on over at VolQuest.com?
Yeah, still reacting, looking back at this Georgia game. How can Tennessee move on from this? Is Tennessee thought of better nationally in the eyes of the committee members, even though Tennessee lost? What are some of those games? How does this loss impact some of those games down the line? All that and more getting ready for UAB this weekend, but it's an opportunity to put out some frustrations, get some young guys in there, and then get set to get back on the horse for SEC play. So all that and more, VolQuest.com and on the Locked On Vols podcast.
Shout out, Kaner. Appreciate it, brother. Hit me up. Should be back to business as usual for Locked On Talking Vols on Friday.
I hope so, Boogie. I hope so. Thank you, man.
Maybe not. Have a good one, Kaner. Oh, my gosh. I've stirred up a hornet's nest. The chat is turned on Boogie. They say Boogie doesn't allow you to fan. I agree, Tom. You're not allowed to fan different than Boogie. You see, that's comical to me. That's a joke to me. The reality is you can fan however you want to fan. You can have whatever opinion you want to have. That's why we have the fan call-in show. You want to come on? You want to voice your opinions? That's what it's all about. But the reality is I get to respond. I get to give my opinion. That's how fanning works. So just because I disagree with you and debate with you and give my opinion back to you does not mean, oh, I'm not allowed to fan. Are you guys not allowed to fan here? Nobody's allowed to fan here. Is that what it is? You're not allowed to have your opinion. Has Tom been blocked? Has Tom been blocked and not allowed to share his opinion? Has No Bueno been blocked and not allowed to share his opinion? Of course you're all allowed to share your opinions. That's what it's all about. Stop making it about you and me and make it about your opinions. That's what it's all about. Give your opinions, voice your opinions for the fans, by the fans, means something around here. If you don't like the way I run my show, then I don't know what to tell you. It is what it is. It's not about coming on and talking for 45 minutes straight. It's about you go ham in the chat, and then if you come on, just voice your opinion. It doesn't have to be a fight. Sword of the Demon trying to cue up a fight. Come on, swinging. Let me tell you something. That's not the way to go about it, because that ain't going to end well for you. I can promise you that. Just come on and voice your opinions. That's it. Georgia Ball says, and now it's all about Tom. No, I'm done. I'm not going to talk about it anymore. Stop making it about you. Just give your opinions. Have a good time. That's what this channel is all about. But then it becomes, oh, Boogie's this and Boogie's that, and Boogie doesn't allow this and Boogie doesn't allow that. It's like, it's comical. Johnny Price for 5 says, I feel really good about Tennessee the rest of the season. Looked like the coaches pumped the brakes, and it threw off the rhythm of the game. I agree with that 100%. Being aggressive is a conversation that we've had for 3 straight days after the game, right? We had it Saturday night. We had it Sunday night. We're having it again this morning. I think you had an opportunity to end the game, and you didn't, and I get it. Josh Heupel's trying to put his team in the best position to win. I don't know that you really get a better position than kicking a field goal as time expires from a field goal kicker that's been pretty much automatic in Max Gilbert. And I wish somebody brought it up in the postgame show saying that Max Gilbert had missed 3 field goals against Kentucky, and they were talking about how many field goals he had missed. Man, I think 3 of his 6 misses, I don't have the numbers in front of me now, but I think 3 of his 6 misses were from longer than 50 yards, right? Longer than 50 yards. Like, he's been pretty dang good, been pretty automatic for Tennessee. So I think, but again, like me and Kaner said, like we said post-game, like we said everything, you could have put the game away before that. You didn't even really need to be in that situation. But shout out Johnny, appreciate the super chat. Ron for 2 is here, and he says, yes, there are good Georgia fans. I have yet to find one. Some people tell me that there are. I've yet to find one. Ron. I don't believe there are good people that pull for Georgia. I think they're all terrible, ugly, disgusting human beings. I think it's just that no, there are no good Georgia fans, Eric. There are none. Tyler Harrison for 5. If we did not get that last false start, the kick would have been much easier. But no matter what, I'm a Vol for life. UGA did not beat Tennessee. Tennessee beat Tennessee. I agree. And it's hard to put it on Sham Umarov. It is an easier kick. I wish Josh Heupel would have ran one more play. I saw somebody say that in the chat earlier. I wish Josh Heupel would, look, he wanted to move the ball closer. He wanted to center it up, make it easier for his kicker. Got the false start, got scared, got hesitant, didn't want to, put his players in a position to make another mistake. Now you're adding 5 more yards. Now you're getting close to a 50-yard field goal. Have the confidence in your players, man. Have the confidence to send them out there and say, hey, run the football. That's another thing, man. Joey, they were snapping it to him, and he was just going to fall forward. Screw that. Hand it off. Give it to Deshaun Bishop. Give it to Star Thomas. Let him pop 5, 10, 15 yards, and then tell him, hey, there's 7 seconds on the clock. If you do not get down within 7 seconds, you're running gassers till you puke. Like, just let's have some awareness, run the football, and I think you get it closer. Maybe Max has a little bit more confidence. Maybe he doesn't. Maybe Max still goes out there and misses it, and that's why it goes back to you had multiple times to win the game. Multiple times to win the game. Be aggressive. Be aggressive after the turnover. Why not? Why not be aggressive there? Why not take a shot? Why not throw the football on 3rd and long? Give yourself an opportunity to keep moving the football, chewing up more clock, right? I don't know if Josh Heupel, and I think I said this last night, I don't know if he's less aggressive because he has more confidence in his team. He doesn't feel the need. He doesn't feel like he has to press, right? He has confidence in his team of, hey, we take 3 here. We're in a good spot to win this football game. Dylan says, why were we in shotgun at all down there? How many snaps? I brought this up last night. How many snaps has Joey Aguilar taken from Sam Pendleton under center? I don't know. Maybe they practice it. Maybe they practice quarterback sneak. Maybe they practice in goal line situation. It's easy to say that, but it's not a video game where I just go under center. It's not a video game where on Tuesday nights Boogie gets to go into the I form with Tennessee because he likes running the I form. He likes throwing a fullback out there and playing old 90s football. How many snaps has Joey Aguilar taken from under center? I don't know. We don't know. I mean, I agree with you guys. Fourth and inches, I would like to be able to go under center and run a quarterback sneak. I don't know if Josh Heupel has that in his offense. I don't know that we've seen that. We've seen it. What? Did Nico do it at all last year? Did Joe Milton do it? Did Hendon Hooker do it? That's a fair argument. But you go out of shotgun 99.9% of the time, games on the line. We're talking about Heupel doesn't even want to turn around and hand the football off. He wants Joey Aguilar to just center it up. Do you risk it? Do you have the confidence in Joey going under center? I don't know. It's a fair question. It's a fair question. I think for me, man, and I think most people too, I think most people see it. I think most people have more confidence in this football team. I think more people, especially this offense, right? Defense, man, you got to get right. You got to get healthy. Don Bailey, Bryson Eason playing that many snaps on the inside. It's too much. It's too much. And you got UAB coming up. You got Mississippi State. And then you got the bye week. Can Tennessee get healthy for the SEC schedule? Is Tennessee healthy for Mississippi State? Does Jermod McCoy come back, right? I mean, Ricky Gibson's out for the year, guys. He's done. I don't know if you watched my video on that, if you finally heard VolQuest talking about that. Ricky Gibson's out for the year. He will not be back. Zero chance he comes back. Jermod McCoy, on the other hand, should be coming back. Now, will he is the question, right? Will Jermod McCoy come back? And every time AP mentions it and he throws out an ETA when he could possibly be back, is it Arkansas? He also throws out agents. Throws out agents being in the ear. Agents being in the ear of Jermod McCoy and talking about his NFL draft status and staying healthy, focusing on the combine. Does Jermod McCoy elect to do that? Does he elect to sit out the rest of the year and get healthy? I don't know. The interior of the defensive line, I think Jackson Moy will probably be back soon. I don't know that he plays against UAB. I don't know that I would play him against UAB. I would want Jackson Moy back for Mississippi State. I can't remember the timeline on David Hobbs. Is it Arkansas? Maybe one of you guys in the chat know? Is it Arkansas? You just got to get healthy, man. You got to get healthy on this defense. If you're not encouraged by this offense, I don't know what to tell you. You go out and you score 38 in regulation. You go out and score 38 in regulation. You have a lot of miscues in the second quarter. How many points do you put up? How well do you move the football if Peyton Lewis doesn't drop a ball with 40 yards of green grass in front of him? How do you move it if Travis Smith pulls that ball down on first down? How do you move it if Joey Aguilar puts it on the money to Braylon Staley, right? Like, what does that look like? Which is why I get so defensive with the coaches. Yeah, they're not perfect. They make mistakes. Tim Banks makes mistakes all the time. So does Joey Halsley. So does Coach Heupel. Guess what? So does Coach Garner. It's football. It's coaching. You're going to make mistakes. But you went out and put up 38 points in regulation on a Georgia football team that's damn good. Like, it's Georgia. They're good. Like, I love that the players, they say the goal is perfection, but we know it's not attainable. We know you can't reach it. but that's the goal. We're never going to play perfect football. That's why I play the clip. Almost every single stream, I play the clip from Coach Heupel. Ain't got to be perfect. Guess what? Ain't going to be perfect. Just go out and compete for 60 freaking minutes. 60 minutes. You ever played a sport? You ever played a sport in your life? Is it ever perfect? No, it's never perfect. Ever. It's never perfect. That doesn't mean all of a sudden Joey Halsley's no good. It doesn't mean that Tim Banks is no good. It doesn't mean that Josh Heupel is no good. And my counter argument is always, who are you going to replace him with? Nick Saban? John Gruden? I mean, come on. If you didn't listen to Uncle Kenny last night, if you didn't hear him talk about this football team and these coaches and these players and the buy-in that these players have, why would you freaking turn on this coaching staff? Why would you turn on this team? Why would you turn on these players? What good is it? What good does it do? Like, I don't get it. What's the point? What's the point? I don't get it. It's fair to come on here and critique. It's fair to come on here and point out things. And shout out Coach Jay popping in the chat here. Like, I love listening to Coach Jay talk X's and O's. Why? Because he gives me an example. He talks about, give me some safety help on Ty Redmond. I love the scheme. I love being aggressive. I love going man, but bail your freshman corner out. Give him some help over the top. That play on fourth down. Yeah, I mean, we talked about it last night because Coach Jay brought up, give me some safety help over there. And then I counteract after rewatching the game and like hearing some different opinions. It's like Kirby Smart thinks you're playing the sticks there. Does Gunnar Stockton pump that ball? Does he hold that ball? Does he throw it into double coverage if you've got a safety over the top because he thinks you're playing the sticks? I don't know, but Tim Banks made the call and Gunnar Stockton made the throw of his life. Ty Redmond's in perfect coverage and they just make a play. I'm encouraged, man. I'm encouraged about this team. I'm encouraged about the future. I'm encouraged about the opportunity to go down to Alabama and come out with a win. I'm encouraged about the opportunity to go down to Florida and come out with a win. Does that mean Tennessee's going 11-1? Probably not. 10-2, maybe 9-3. I mean, that's still kind of right where I'm at. I still think Tennessee can lose to Alabama. I still think they can lose to Florida. Call me crazy. I see the wheels falling off there. I think the wheels are falling off in Florida. I don't know that their coach will be there. And if he is, I think it's going to be an absolute dumpster fire in the locker room. But when you look at those games, and let me pull up the schedule again. When you look at it moving forward and you look at the schedule, there's two ways to look at this thing. And I think it's why everybody hates me. I think that's why so many people get pissed at me, because I try to be somewhere in the middle. I try to be neutral. I try to be, I hate saying this. I hate when people say I'm a realist. When you say you're a realist, that just means my opinion matters and yours doesn't. I try to be even keel, not glass half full, not glass half empty. Try to look at it from a neutral perspective. I think the sunshine pumper, and no disrespect, you feel how you feel. You look at the schedule and go, hey, we went toe-to-toe with Georgia. We're beating everybody. We're going 11-1, college football playoff. Maybe we win a national championship. A glass half empty guy goes, all right, we got beat by Georgia. We got out-coached. We got out-schemed. We struggled. We got beat. We suck. All right, we got UAB. That doesn't matter. We're going on the road to Mississippi State. We know Josh Heupel struggles on the road, so that's a loss. So that's loss number 2. Arkansas, well, I mean, we can lose that game. We shouldn't have won it last year, or we shouldn't have lost it last year, but we did. Arkansas has our number. We suck against Arkansas. We can lose that game, so that's a loss too. That's now 3 losses. You go to Alabama, well, that's a loss. It's Alabama. Now we're at 4 losses. At Kentucky, well, that's a trap game. We could lose that game, so that's the 5th loss. Oklahoma's going to kill us. That's a loss. We'll beat New Mexico State. At Florida, we suck in the swamp. That's a loss. Vanderbilt, have you seen Diego Pavia? We can lose that game. That's a loss. You see the difference when you look at a game and you say, we can lose that game. Yeah, we can lose to Mississippi State. We can lose to Arkansas. We can lose to Alabama. We can lose to Kentucky. We can lose to Oklahoma. We can lose to Florida. We can lose to Vanderbilt. Are we going to lose every one of those? Are we going to lose every single one of those? Because I can also rattle those off and say, well, we can win that game. We can win that game. We can win that game. And now I'm at 11-1 because we can win every single game. You see what I'm doing here? It's hot and it's cold. The truth lies somewhere in the middle. Like, let's just look at this with some perspective here. We can beat every team left on the schedule. Is it tough to go on the road to Alabama and win? 100% it's tough. Is it tough to go to the swamp and win? 100% it's tough. Does that mean you can't win? No, it doesn't. No, it doesn't. The Messersmith says you can lose to anybody. Geez, of course. Exactly. You can. Does that mean it's a guaranteed loss? No, it doesn't. It's just like any other team. Black Metal Banjo says 11-1, 10-2 is attainable. Boudreaux is here. The only way we lose more than one is if the team loses itself. I don't see that, man. I don't see that. Who's Jenny mad at? Jenny's always mad at somebody in the chat. Who's got you upset this morning, Jenny? Who's got you mad this morning? It's okay. Sometimes I get mad too. You got to call somebody out. Corey Smith for 5. I think Saturday lots of fire under the players' butts. They haven't even played close to their best games yet. GBO. Shout out, Corey. Appreciate you. I think this team is motivated. I think they are. I think they're motivated. I think they're fired up. I don't think that team went in there hoping to win. I don't think that team went in there hoping to keep it close. I don't think that team went in there saying, oh, man, maybe we can compete. I think they went in there to win. They went in there to beat Georgia, and that's why you saw Tyree West release the emotion, release the frustration. They expected to win. They didn't expect to keep it close. They expected to win. Sean Cross is here. What's up? I beat my woman of 30 years after the loss. Come on, Sean. That's how I roll. I don't give a piss about nothing but the Vols. Sean is joking. He is joking. He is not being serious. Shout out, Sean. We appreciate the super chat. Brad says, are you going to review Heupel's post-game presser or not? I'm sick of you yelling at everybody in the chat. I don't know. Do you want me to? Do you want me to, Brad? Do you want me to watch the Heupel post-game press conference? Gilbert was out practicing alone on Sunday morning. Good. Good, man. Nobody like that. That's why one of my biggest triggers, one thing that sets me off more than anything is people going to Twitter and going after players and coaches. Stop. You don't think Max Gilbert's down on himself today? You don't think Max Gilbert was down on himself Saturday night? You don't think Max Gilbert was down on himself Sunday? He makes that. He's a hero. He misses it. Somebody in the comment section of my day after video said, I hope they jump him in the locker room. Are you kidding? Have you ever played a competitive sport in your life? You want to jump our kicker in the locker room because he missed a field goal. Have you ever competed in a sport in your life? Ever? 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 Somebody wants to bench Shamrod Umarov because he had a false start. Have you ever played a competitive sport in your life? Have you ever made a mistake in your life? God bless America. Y'all are filling me up full of piss and vinegar on a Monday morning. I thought I was over this. Tom, I blame you. I blame you, Tom. God. Don't hate on Tom. Me and Tom have disagreed maybe more than anybody else in the history of this channel. Probably more than anybody. Bradley Rhodes says Max Gilbert has a new number, sadly. Probably. Allegedly. Exactly. This is it right here. Lee Honda killing it. Nailing it. No one is as pissed at Max more than Max is. Exactly. And that's why it does no good. It does no good to go after Max. It does no good to go after these players. Some people don't like my mindset. Some people don't like my attitude of going to Twitter and trying to lift this team up. But guess what? That tweet had a lot of players, families, had a lot of players' moms and dads like that and appreciate that and reach out to me and say, hey, man, I love what you guys do on Talkin Vols. Thanks for supporting our kids when they need it. It's easy. It's easy to text Colton Hood after a win and say, hey, man, y'all killed it. It's easy to text Sam after a win and say, hey, man, way to protect QB. Keep him clean. Proud of you boys. That's easy. It's hard to reach out and say, hey, man, keep your head up. Keep your head up after a loss because this game against Georgia doesn't define your season. It doesn't define your career. It doesn't define you as a human being. Legacy's got some info. He's got that inside scoop. All right. Hit me up. Corey Smith for 5. Think about your emotions after the loss. They don't come close to comparing to how Gilbert feels. He will bounce back and grow from it. Guess what? We're going to need Max Gilbert. We are going to need Max Gilbert again in the future. How much do you think it's going to help him to read all the negativity, all the criticism, all the you suck, it's your fault, we blame you, versus lifting that kid up and say, hey, keep your head up. We're going to need you. I love Heupel saying, hey, you know, the spotlight is on you as a specialist. The spotlight is on you. You get limited opportunities. You go out there, you missed a kick. Guess what? He came back in overtime, exact same position on the field and knocked it home. That's alpha. That's alpha, man. Same kick, same spot, knocks it right through the uprights. Yeah, it didn't work out. Yeah, you lost the game, but man, I think that was big for Max Gilbert. All right, we're about 45 minutes in. We got 250 people watching on this Monday morning. Love me, hate me, disagree with me. If you like the channel, you like the platform, you like what we do, smash the thumbs up, share out the link, let somebody know we're live. We would greatly appreciate it. You can go check out the official merchandise of the Talkin VAWLS Network. You can go to bonfire.com/store/Talkin VAWLS. Grab yourself some Talkin VAWLS merch. We appreciate any and all support. You can also support the sponsor of the Talkin VAWLS morning show. Go to gradeagrounds.com. Grab yourself either some regular blend or you can get that blueberry blend. It is delicious. It is fantastic. Both are great. Gradeagrounds.com. Use the promo code VAWLS at checkout. You're going to save 20%. They're going to kick a little back to Talkin VAWLS, man. It's a way to support the channel as well. You can also support through membership. Hit the join button down below. Only $1. Only $1. If you show up for the morning streams, you show up for the evening streams, you show up on Tuesday nights, you like what we do on this channel and you want us to keep moving forward, guess what? Everybody around the internet is imitating this show. Every Tom, Dick, and Harry is creating their own show, and they are launching a Talkin VAWLS Light, and it's for the fans, by the fans. It's just our fan opinions. They're doing live streams against us head-to-head every single day. But if you like the original, you like the OG, you like the one that started it all, think about dropping that $1, man, because it's getting tough because views are getting spread out over 20 different channels doing the exact same thing that we started right here on this Talkin VAWLS network. And kudos to them. Go get it. Go kill it. Go grab that brass ring. I'm going to continue to raise that brass ring to where you can't reach it. So if you like, I challenge you right now, if you're in the chat and you enjoy this show, hit that join button. It's $1 a month. We would greatly appreciate it. Matthew Taylor said, got me some Talkin VAWLS merch. I appreciate that, brother. Thank you for the support. It's like a membership. It's like a super chat. So we appreciate that. Oh, my Lord, Coach J. Coach J. All right, let's go take a listen to Coach Heupel's post-game press conference. That's what we always do here on a Monday show. Cainer had to take care of the little one this morning, so he gave me 25 minutes, and I appreciate him making time for us. But let's jump in and let's take a listen to Coach Heupel post-game show. You want to derail it? You got a conversation you want to have? You want something you want to debate? You guys know how. Drop a super chat. We appreciate those super chats. They pay the bills around here. Otherwise, we don't exist. I'm grateful for every one of you. Let's go.
Give Georgia credit for finishing it the way that you need to win that game. Our players, man, I love the fight, the strain. The willingness to, just keep battling and playing the next play, and played physical, played hard. End of the day, coaches and players got to be a little bit better to win that football game. And tonight, man, it's going to hurt, and we need to drink all that in and taste all of it, because if we're going to move forward and be the team that we're capable of, this feeling tonight's got to be a part of what continues to propel us, and the urgency and the focus and everything that we do. And I told him after the game, I love the competition part of it, competitive composure, continuing to compete. We just got to be a little bit better together, coaches and players. So our fans, day was awesome. Stadium, everything about it. So appreciate them a bunch. And sorry and disappointed we didn't finish it out and get a win for them. So I'll open it up.
Questions? We'll start with David in the middle.
Josh, I know a game like this can have a lot of woulda, coulda, shouldas. When you get the fumble midway through the fourth there, and it's a 35-30 game. Looking back, did you wish you had tried to attack that a little more?
Yeah, you can definitely say that. It's a situation where they're in their too high bracket coverage. We obviously don't pick up what we need to. I think we got behind the chains, and was willing to be aggressive there. If it got to a fourth down too, had a low trap play and end up losing inside on it, and don't pick it up and end up having to kick. And you got a chance to take it to full 2 possessions for sure. But first and second down, a little bit of how they were playing is why we were doing what we were doing too. So.
That's interesting because he's talking about the third down there where Fowl brought it up on the post game, and I saw it too during the game. that third down after the Joseph's fumble, he looked pissed, and I don't know. I still don't know why. Like I don't. Maybe he thought he had the right play drawn up, but he said we had a little surprise, little inside trap play. It went for nothing. So clearly they called the play he wanted to call. I don't know what he was upset about. Maybe he thought he had him and it just didn't work out. So that was the frustration. But clearly he knew the play call there because he liked the play call. And also too, who calls plays, right? Right? Who calls plays? Sometimes I think it's Heupel. Sometimes I think it's Halsley. And I think it's probably a combination. Did Heupel jump in there and make that call? You see Heupel a lot of times covering up his mouth, talking into the headset, but he's also got access to Joey Aguilar. So is Halsley calling the plays and Heupel's talking to Joey? I like what Cainer said earlier, right? The middle of the field was wide open. They had the safeties were helping on the outside. That opens up the middle of the field. Man, golly, it seemed like all day long they were hitting Kitzelman. They were hitting Braylon. The middle of the field was open. Why not take a little quick shot there and tell Joey, do not put this ball in harm's way. Whatever you do not put this ball in harm's way. I just like taking a shot there, man. I get it too. You get behind the sticks first and 15 because of a penalty. It's like I like 1st and 10 going and taking a shot, little play action, take a shot, see what happens. But then you're in 1st and 15. You're trying to get the yardage back so that you can get back in field goal range just to make it an 8-point game. Easy to look back on it, right? And they prelude the question by saying it's easy to look back and question every little decision throughout the course of a football game.
Back, right?
Josh, after that hot first quarter with the 21 points, little stretch there where until later in the second half where you got the offense going again, what you kind of see from your offense?
Man, when it's going good, it's the details in it. When it's not, it's those things too. When just a little bit off, get behind the chains a little bit on a couple of them. Third down, don't convert, ball back behind. It's just small details, and that's what makes a game like this. You're playing good competition, good coaches, and the game within the game, throughout the game, adjustments, and just we were a little bit off there in the second quarter, and not being able to pick up a third down during that sequence, hurt us and allowed them to tighten the football game.
Chris, Coach, what do you tell Max right after the game?
Man, listen, told the team, it's a series of one plays that make the difference. And, as a specialist, sometimes your life gets, showcased in a way where you get very limited opportunities. I love the fact that he came back overtime, drains it, unfortunately he didn't make the one before. But he had his head high and it's the life of being a kicker, you know what I mean? And love the way he responded. He'll continue to grow and we got great trust in him. Unfortunately, we didn't finish that one.
I love that Heupel, as the leader of this football team, said he talked to the guys, talked to the other players, and picked Max up, and that's what leaders do. But I don't think Josh Heupel even had to do that. I don't think anybody on this football team is pointing fingers at Max Gilbert. I think they're probably pointing fingers at themselves. I think they're all probably blaming themselves. If I had made a play here, if I had made a play there, if I had done this, if I had done that, then Max wouldn't be in that position, because I think the culture, we use that word a lot. We talk about culture. We talk about the locker room. We talk about the environment that Josh Heupel has created. It's real, and it means something, and it means something in a moment like this, right? That kick goes through the field goal uprights. It's easy. It's easy to stand behind Max and celebrate and have a good time and talk about how great the locker room is. Man, we're brothers. When you go up against adversity, when you lose, when you miss, that's when the true culture, the chemistry, the brotherhood, that's when it really, really shines through.
Josh, along those lines, it felt like two heavyweights trading blows and hard to get the knockout punch. What do you tell your team about closing out a game like this?
Certainly, it's everything. Defense gets a big turnover. Offensively, details on what we're doing to go finish it and drain the clock and make it a full 2-possession game. And it takes everything. Fundamentals, technique, all of it. The competitive makeup of it, though, love what I saw. We just got to get a little bit better.
Joe on the left and then Jimmy in the middle.
Josh, what'd you learn about Joey today?
Came out, played within himself, made plays early, got it to the guys that can go make plays. When it wasn't going good in the second quarter, man, super calm, demeanor, like great energy, on the sideline, demeanor, all that. So there's a lot to love, in this football game.
We're all falling in love with Joey Aguilar. I just wonder what the quarterback position looks like next year. Coach, I think you said it. It feels like this is the one that we need to get Georgia. Then Brent Hubbs came on here Friday morning and said, I'm not of the camp that this is the one where we need to get Georgia. I ain't going to lie. I'm more on Coach Jay's side of that. It felt like this is the one that we needed to get Georgia. You're losing a lot of veteran guys, but this football team's also young, man. It's also very young. I would imagine that Lance Hurd is going to be off to the NFL after this year. Do you get Dave healthy and slide him in at left tackle? And then you still keep Sham Umarov, Sam Pendleton, Wendell Moore Jr., and Jesse Perry. I like that offensive line in 2026. I don't think you're going to skip a beat there with the offensive line. Your wide receivers are young. Your running backs are young. It's that quarterback position for this offense. Clearly, it is crucial. It is crucial to have a quarterback that can mentally grasp this offense. Now, is that a veteran guy? Is it a guy that just has it more between the ears? I don't know. Joey came in and learned this offense in 3 months. It took him 3 months to learn this offense, but it's also a guy that's seen a lot of concepts, played a lot of football, and he jumped right in and he got it. I've seen a lot of people talk about Joey Aguilar can come back for another year. I don't know that that's the case. I don't know that it's the case. I don't know that Joey Aguilar can come back next year. Black Metal Banjo has confidence in Merck. Do you? Like, I hope. I was ready to ride with Jake Merklinger. When Nico hit the portal, I said, all right, let's roll. I was trolling. When the rumors were getting pretty hot, I was trolling. We were down there for the orange and white game. We were at Coach Jay's Airbnb. We were getting ready to go out and have a good time. I said, watch this. And I had a picture of Merck pulled up on my phone. I'm about to tweet it. I didn't put any words, didn't put any comments. And I said, should I do it? And they're all like, dude, don't do it. You're going to stir up a hornet's nest. I tweeted out the picture of Jake. I was cold of Jake. I was ready to roll with Jake. I have concerns about Jake. Let's be honest. And I get it. It's a small body of work in the orange and white game. It's a small body of work against ETSU. I thought George McIntyre looked better against ETSU. I thought George McIntyre looked better in the orange and white game. And again, small body of work. Which one of those guys can grasp it between the ears? And I get it. You got Faison Brandon coming in too. I think it's a tall task. It's a big ask to ask a true freshman to come in and run this offense. We'll see what happens. I think whoever wins the job, the other guy hits the portal as soon as they can. But also they're changing it, right? They're changing it. What was the window? The window now was it January? Is that what we said? It's going to open and close in January. So you can't go through spring camp and see where you're at. You can't go through spring camp and see if you win the quarterback competition. You got to bounce before it. I'm excited about this football team in the future. The quarterback position next year is going to be interesting. And again, people saying that Joey can come back. I've not seen anything that says Joey can come back. I don't know. If Timothy McGee was in the chat, he would say, go get a JUCO quarterback. Let's hear more.
At the end of regulation on the field goal, were you trying to set it up on the left hash mark? And did the penalty change your thought process?
We were going to move it more to the upright where we were at, yard line. Didn't want to have any lost yardage, and so with everything that transpired, that's why we kicked it when we did.
Josh, it set up the end of regulation where the guys, you win the game, celebrate, and all that. And when you have to reset, what was your message to the team in that reset to start overtime?
Man, you got to go play, and listen, it's the nature of the beast, right? And they hit us with heavy set and scissor zone and didn't have it gapped out or lost the edge on it, and offensively weren't able to pick up the yards we needed to sustain the drive and go score. So it's not for lack of effort. Just didn't make the plays at the critical moments when you have to in this game. And that being said, in the back and forth of the game, and this group competed really hard.
Page in the back and then Gentry here on the front left.
oftentimes coaches gave us so much about playmakers making plays. How much of that did you see from Chris Brazel today?
Yeah, I thought, Chris had a great ball game. Wide receivers in general played really hard, made plays, protected well throughout a majority of the football game. There were a lot of really good things. Just needed a little bit more.
You know what excites me about that wide receiver room? I mean, you're seeing there's the narrative, and I think it's a narrative for a reason, that these wide receivers get better in year 2 in this offense. And Chris Brazel going out 6 catches, 177 yards, 3 touchdowns. Braylon had 9 catches, 97 yards, and a touchdown. Mike had 5 catches for 59 yards. But let me go look at the stats just for the year for these wide receivers through 3 games. Brazel, 20 catches, 364 yards, 5 touchdowns. I think he's already passed his numbers from a year ago. Braylon, 18 catches, 231, 2 touchdowns. Mike, 13 catches, 200 yards, and a touchdown. Like, you're going to lose Brazel, right? Brazel's going to go to the NFL, and Brazel's going to be that next guy that we get to say, look, we're talking about development. We're talking about putting guys in the league. Hendon, Joe, and then you look at the wide receivers, Dante Thornton in the NFL, Jalen Hyatt, Cedric Tillman. We're putting guys in the league, and that becomes a selling point for Josh Heupel. Come to Tennessee. Not only will you have success here, we're going to put you in the league. Chris Brazel is that next guy. But this year, we talk about, being thin in the wide receiver room and how Josh Heupel missed in the portal, and we should have gone and got extra bodies. And it could be a problem. It could be a problem, right? If somebody gets banged up, we get beat up, it could be a problem. But you're seeing, Coach Jay mentions Rad Jackson in the chat. You're seeing Travis Smith get some actual playing time against Georgia. We've got some good young wide receivers. Yes, we're going to lose Chris Brazel. Mike Matthews will be back. Braylon Staley will be back. Travis Smith, Rad Jackson, Joakim Dotson in that room. How does Amari Jefferson come along? I get it. A lot of people want Amari to come along a little bit faster. He's a guy that had a lot of hype out of high school, goes to Alabama, gets hurt, transfers to Tennessee. He's still coming up to speed. I don't know that Amari was – I know he wasn't 100% throughout spring camp. I don't know if he's up to 100% now, but Amari Jefferson, his future could be bright on Rocky Top. Then let's roll over and look at this class of 26. Let's go look at the guys we have committed in the class of 26. If Rad Jackson is making plays as a freshman, if Travis Smith is getting run as a freshman, do y'all think that, I don't know, Tristan Keys, Tyreek King, Legend Bay, Celeste Moa, y'all think those guys might be able to contribute to this football team in 2026? What quarterback doesn't want to come here and throw to those guys? Our wide receiver room in 26 is going to be elite. Like our wide receiver room this year, just not that much depth. Holy smokes, do we have talent? Holy smokes, is Kelsey Pope killing it on the recruiting trail? Similar to Glenn Ellaby. We talked about Glenn Ellaby last night, right? Talked about Glenn Ellaby and said, can we finally get off of Glenn Ellaby's back? Oh, he can't develop a guy out of high school, Boogie. He can't. We've never seen one of Glenn Ellaby's kids from high school start for Tennessee. I don't know. You think that might be because Cooper Mays was a 17-year senior? You think that might have been because Javonte Spraggins was 42 years old playing on the offensive line? You think that might be because we had a veteran bunch of dudes that had that COVID year? They had redshirt years? Are you going to start a high school kid over Cooper Mays at center? Absolutely not. Absolutely not. You go get Sam Pendleton, people want to devalue that. Well, that's not Glenn Ellaby's guy. I'll be damned if it ain't. Glenn Ellaby went and got him in the portal. Glenn Ellaby saw his talent, brought him here, and Sam's playing pretty dang good football. Wendell Moy Jr. didn't recruit him out of high school. Not a Glenn Ellaby guy. The hell he's not. He's 100% a Glenn Ellaby guy. You want to talk about high school? Jesse Perry. Come on, bro. Like, I get it. I want to see Dave Sanders play. I love me some David Sanders. Great kid. Great family. I love me some David Sanders. Huge win on the recruiting trail. Next man up, Jesse Perry. I'd say that's a guy that Glenn Ellaby recruited out of high school. Sham Umarov at left guard. Sounds to me like a guy that Glenn Ellaby recruited out of high school, developed him, starting on this offensive line, and they've given up 1 sack through 3 games, and that sack was because Joey Aguilar fumbled the snap and fell on it. That's the 1 sack this offensive line has allowed through 3 games. Now let's flip over and talk about Kelsey Pope. And hey, I'm right there with you guys. I said I need to see Glenn Ellaby's offensive line deliver. I need to see Kelsey Pope's wide receivers deliver. I'd say Braylon Staley's delivering. I'd say Chris Brazel's delivering. And yes, I know they went and got him in the portal. He's got the number 1 wide receiver in the country for the class of 26 committed to Tennessee. Legend base, Alessi Moa, Tyreek King. Man, we are not talking enough about him. That dude is going to be a stud in this offense. You got 4 dudes at the wide receiver position in this class of 26. Travis Smith, Rad Jackson, Joakim Dotson in the class of 25. We got some freaking good wide receivers, young wide receivers on this football team. So maybe we should apologize to Glenn Ellaby. Maybe we should apologize to Kelsey Pope and said, let these guys cook. Let these guys cook. They're recruiting at an elite level. I said I needed to see the development. They're proving me right, proving me wrong, whatever the case may be. God, I'm sweating, guys. Why do I sweat on Monday mornings? Why do you guys get me so animated? Maybe you get me so animated on Monday mornings because it's just me and I never stop talking and I just yell and scream and get excited because I love this football team. Is what it is. There's no place I'd rather be than right here on a Monday morning talking to you guys in the chat. Almost 250 of you listening to me ramble, rant, and rave, yell at Tom in the chat, circle it back around, talk some ball football. I love Tom. He knows that. He knows that. No bueno trying to stir up civil war in the chat earlier today. It is, Todd. I think it's this grade A grounds coffee that causes me to sweat. I mean, I guess I've got a problem. Shout out this beautiful App State mug. Look at that. I got a rock star on the side. I've already killed one rock star this morning. Maybe that's the problem. Maybe that's the problem. MG Way says, I was just about to say, Boogie, don't get me so hyped up on a Monday with UAB on Saturday. Hey, MG Way, I'm glad you're here, brother. I'm glad you're here. No game, no bueno says, it's all love, Boogie. Angry Boogie is entertaining. I'm not even angry at Tom. I'm not. I just wanted him to speak his opinion. And it's like, it's hot or cold. It's I say, Tom, you disagree with me. You were on here last night. Let's have a conversation. And it becomes, well, I didn't want to take over the show. You don't have to take over the show. You don't have to talk for 45 minutes straight. If you come on a fan call in, voice your opinions. If you agree with me, disagree with me, agree with Coach Jay, disagree with Coach Jay, disagree with Foul Ming. Look, me and Coach Jay didn't agree on the post-game show. He was just pointing out X's and O's, and I was pointing out, the effort of the players. That's not really disagreeing. I can't really argue with Coach Jay when it comes to X's and O's. He knows way more than I do, obviously. But I welcome every opinion. That doesn't mean you come over and take over the show and talk for 45 minutes straight. Just come on and voice your opinion. That's what this channel is about. 0 times have I said, oh, you don't get a voice because you disagree with me. I'm going to block you from the chat. That's not what this show's about. Just keep it civil. Keep it respectful. That's it. That's all. What's up, Pecan? So I think if Joey plays like he did Saturday, the rest of the year, he has a chance to be in the Heisman race. Dude, if he had beat Georgia, his name would be all over that Heisman Trophy. They would be talking about Heisman Trophy campaigns had you beat Georgia. Now we'll see. We'll see. Got to continue to move the football and put it in the end zone. All right, let's hear more from Josh Heupel.
Josh, you feel like this is going to be something to build up on playing this game as early as you are, and even in a loss,
Man, losses never feel good, taste good. That's not the expectation inside of this locker room, just to play somebody tight. I think the disappointment of tonight can be a moment, something in our journey together that can springboard and propel us if we choose to use it that way.
Wes.
The first time in a season where the team loses a game or has a big injury and things kind of get knocked back a little bit, how important are those next 2 or 3 days for a team in a situation like that?
Man, soak this baby in tonight. Let it hurt. Same thing tomorrow. And for the players, coaches will learn lessons and move forward early tomorrow. And when the players come back in on Monday, it's whether you win or lose, man, it's about how you got to get better. And if we take the lessons from this one, use the disappointment to propel us to have even greater focus and urgency. We got a chance to be a good football team and continue to get better. And that's what we have to do to be the team that we're capable of.
All right, that's a wrap on Heupel's post-game press conference. You know, I say a lot this game against Georgia is not going to define Tennessee. But maybe it does. Maybe it does. And I've talked about this a lot. I talked about it a lot last year. And Coach Jay, I think, brought it up last night. You know, Georgia losing early a couple of years ago, and Nick Saban talking about it on game day and calling up Kirby Smart and saying, hey, one of the best Alabama teams I ever had. We lost early in the season. Everybody thought we were done. Everybody thought we were cooked. We inside the program learned and grew from that, and we went out and won a national championship. Guess who won a national championship that year? Kirby Smart and Georgia. Why can Tennessee, why can Josh Heupel, why can this coaching staff not learn, not grow, not adapt? You had a shot to win. Maybe Coach Heupel looks himself in the mirror and says, you know what? I should have been more aggressive. I should have gone for the jugular when I had an opportunity. And maybe that's what we do if we get a rematch with Georgia. Maybe we don't get a rematch with Georgia. Maybe we drop another game to Alabama or to Florida or to whoever. 10-2 is going to get you in the playoff. Well, 9-3, I don't think so. I don't think 9-3. I saw him on VolQuest having this debate last night. I don't think 9-3 gets you into the college football playoff. 10-2. But even if you go 9-3, guys, even if you go 9-3, are you sold? Are you done? Are you out on this coaching staff if they go 9-3? That's why I continue to check you. If you were in this chat or you were in the comments section or you were scrolling Twitter and you were saying that this team was going to go 4-8, 5-7, 6-6, if that's where you were at, because Nico hit the portal, Joey came in, you didn't watch, you don't have this beautiful App State coffee mug like I do. You didn't watch Joey Aguilar play at App State. You simply look at his numbers and think that he sucks at quarterback. And so you think this team's going to be 4-8, 5-7, 6-6. Somebody told me that Tennessee was only going to win 3 games. And somebody checked me yesterday on the day after and goes, I've not heard anybody say that. I've not heard anybody say that. I mean, all due respect, sir, all due respect. Do you talk about Tennessee football all day, every day on a YouTube channel? Do you? Because I would say I see more comments, and yeah, I get it. Some of them are trolls. But I'm not making up what I hear and what I see. Somebody said this team was going to win 3 games. Now you go out and go 9-3. You go out and go 10-2. Where you at on this coaching staff? I'd say that's pretty damn good. I'd say it's pretty damn good if you thought this team was going to go 6-6 and they go out and go 9-3 or 10-2. I'd say it's a pretty dang good coaching job by this coaching staff. Just one man's simple opinion. I love this football team. I love these kids. I love these coaches. I'm excited about where we go from here. Pecan for 2 says, out of the rest of the games, biggest fear is Vanderbilt. Oh, God, I hate to even say that. I'm not going to say it. We own Vanderbilt. We're going to put a beating on Vanderbilt. We're going to go on the road and beat Kentucky. That Alabama game, boys, that's the one that's circled, and I get it. You're going on the road to Mississippi State. That'll be a good little test. It's on the road. It's in the SEC. It's not easy to win on the road in the SEC. That'll be a good little test for Tennessee. This week's a get-right week. Go put a beating on UAB. I like what Stan said in the chat earlier. Jump on them early. Get Jake in. Get George in. Get healthy. We got to get healthy. Go on the road, beat Mississippi State. You got a bye week. Get healthy. Get ready for Alabama. That's when we got another opportunity. And a lot of people, again, shout out to every single person in this chat. Shout out to every single person that's watching this replay. I love your dedication to Tennessee football. There are a lot of people that after the loss to Georgia, they'll check out. They'll disappear. They'll go away. And they won't come back until we play Alabama. And then they'll care about that game. And if Tennessee loses that game, guess what? They may check out for the rest of the year. So I love the diehard, passionate, psychotic Tennessee fans. I love the Tennessee fans that are here when we go 6-6. The Tennessee fans that were here through the dark ages, that saw Butch Jones, that saw Jeremy Pruitt, that saw the comedy act of Derek Dooley. We've been through the dark times, boys. So soak it in, drink it in, enjoy every single win. I love you guys. I appreciate you guys. If you haven't, please help me out and smash the thumbs up on the way out the door. I would appreciate it. If you're not a member of this channel, you like what we do, you like the morning shows, the fan call-in shows, whatever it is you like about this channel, think about hitting the join button. I can't stress enough how much we need your memberships. It is crucial. As more people start to do what we do, without your memberships, this show goes away and I go back to a 9 to 5. We need your support. So if you like what we do, think about hitting that join button and I would appreciate it. It's just $1 a month. But if we get enough of them, we can keep the lights on around here and keep this show moving forward. So I appreciate you guys. Go check out the Talkin VAWLS merchandise. All the links are in the description below. Go grab some Grade A Grounds coffee, gradeagrounds.com. Use that promo code VAWLS and save yourself a little bit of money at checkout, and also kick some money back to the Talkin VAWLS Network. But that is going to do it for this one. I'm going to be dropping a recruiting video here in just an hour or two as soon as I can get it out, so make sure you come back for that. This is the Talkin VAWLS Network. My name's Boogie Bentley. Go Big Orange.
That we call